dun, 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 dun.
Wait, hold on just a minute. Let me take off my cap.
Oh gosh,
I have it on my heart.
Oh,
did you
nice.
not?
What, you took it off your heart?
Not? Yes, I took it off of my heart, my little tiny heart cap that I keep on my heart. It shields it from the rain, you know? I mean, like, everyone keeps their heart just kind of, like, out in the open, like, open to the elements. And, like, I mean, Jesus, like, put a hat on it or something. Like, there's
right?
bugs and shit out here. like, what if a dog gets at it?
I know, they like shit, so I don't get it.
They do like shit, and my heart is definitely shit.
Douglas, this is the United States of America for the week of July 4th, 2018, episode 242.
I had no idea we were in charge of that.
Isn't that crazy?
There's a reckoning coming for us.
Oh, yeah. In any case, sorry, I already said it once. This is Comics Covered for the week of...
Did you have a moment where you realized how much you say in any case?
Yeah, I talked about it literally 2 weeks ago or last week.
Oh, did you? Okay, because I must have forgotten that you brought that up, but I'm horrible, and I just got around to listening to the episode that you did with Sam when I wasn't on.
Oh, you shitty. You're shitty.
I am shitty. No, I just, I listen to a lot of podcasts.
You do?
I do. But I just listened to it, and it never occurs to me when we're talking how much you say it, but you do say it a lot. I'm sure
I said it specifically that day so many times. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was just that episode because you were like trying harder to drive the conversation or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Thank God you don't say anywho anymore, because that would be a nightmare because you have to do it every time. You know what I mean?
It would be a nightmare.
In any case, this is Comics Cover for the week of July 4th, 2018, episode 33.
4th of July.
I know, right?
Wow.
Happy 4th of July to everybody. It was fun. In LA, fireworks are illegal, but you wouldn't know that from the sounds, so it's fun. Here on Comics Covered, though, we talk about comic books and the world around them. And, I mean, that includes things like the industry, the movies, the TV, and the games. We talk spoilers about some of those things, and we'll probably swear. We'll worry about the spoilers, though. I'm going to get this right at the open also. We have not seen Ant-Man and the Wasp yet, so we're not going to talk about any spoilers or anything for that. Probably next week, we'll probably have seen it. Right, Doug?
I think we've both been grievously injured on our podcast by us both getting Movie Pass this year.
Yeah? Why?
We don't see movies on like opening night or anything anymore.
Well, why would we now? Because they have the pricing now.
Now we definitely won't because they have fucking surge pricing. But bullshit.
Yeah.
They are going under sometime in the next year, and if they even if they don't, I'm not re-upping. They're a fucking travesty of a company. I love the service, but they keep just fucking it up more and more.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah, so we'll probably have it next week, but yeah, you're right. But whatever. We'll see it next week, and we'll have, we'll
talk about it next week.
It'll still be a hot topic and everything. You
never saw
it? You didn't even see.
Can I get like a shirt of a Tim Burton movie?
Yeah. Do you want a Funko of Jack the Lantern or
Funko Pop
or whatever? Funko Pop. When did those get so big? Why are they so big? I don't get it.
On the one hand, I kind of get it. I get it. Because it's like if everyone is into them, if everyone's collectively bought into this idea of the Funko Pops, then it's like, oh, which Funko Pops do you have? And it's this weird badge of like, these are the things I like. And everyone has this matching set that's uniquely the things they like. Also, they look like dog shit.
Yeah. Right?
The dumbest looking things I've seen in my entire life.
It's like the
probably
new Beanie
an exaggeration.
Babies, but it's worse than Beanie Babies.
Yeah, but Beanie Babies are expressly just for children.
Okay.
I mean, unless you're like a collector or whatever, I don't know. I'm sure there are adults who collect Beanie Babies. Someone was very insulted by that just now.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I don't know. I just don't get it.
Like, I wanted to get like a Lion Cat from Saga, doll of some sort, but I can only find like really Funko Pops everywhere. It's like, why would I want a Funko Pop?
I've seen little. You can get Saga Lion Cat little statues or figures or whatever.
I want to get a talking
I've seen
one.
them.
that just says lying. You know what I mean?
Pretty great. I think the one I've seen them at like the Image booth at cons a few years in a row. And they, there's a little statue and it comes with a little like word bubble that says lying that you can like attach to it or something.
That's nice.
It's pretty great.
I would like to like have it on a button so that like it talks when I press the button. So if I'm talking to someone and they say something, I can press it.
Good. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, it should just, a little, like, it's like a little buzzer, and it just does Lying Cat's lying.
Yeah.
What do you think Lying Cat's lying quote sounds like? You do like a, what do you think?
Okay.
Like?
I think it's like
you get into character. Here's your motivation. You're with the Will. He's smoking a big old doobie. And someone comes up to him and says like, "Hey, buddy, you want to play some 3-card Monty? I'd do them fair." And then Lying Cat says,
"Oh, sorry. Can you do the I'm doing him fair again?" I gotta get in character. My Meisner technique.
You just took you just took a real long nap, and you've gotten up while he was talking, and you did a big old stretch, like because you're a cat, and also you're thinking about your childhood with your mom, a Lying Cat, and
lying.
Okay. Ooh, that was good.
Yeah, you like that?
That's very human. I always hear it as like more of a more, I don't know. It's more like a growl. It's like a lying, like a hiss.
Ooh, I like that. Wait, Samantha just walked in. Samantha, what do you think the Lying Cat sounds like?
The Lying Cat?
Yeah, when he says lying.
Lying.
Okay. Doug thinks it's more of a growl.
Like what?
Lying.
Did she hear me?
Right?
Okay.
No, she can't hear you.
I think it's softer.
Softer?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your guest appearance.
I guess it depends. Yeah. Wow. So, like such a parade of celebrities. It probably depends on the context, I guess. It would probably range the. Do you think Lying Cat sounds like a person? I guess it's saying a word.
It is saying a
word. But it's also the only word it says.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's like a parrot scenario, but it sounds like a cat.
Oh God, what if it sounds like a parrot? Like, what if that just ruins it? Like, what if a TV show comes out and they do that and it's like the most terrible thing in the world?
What if it's the most terrible thing in the world? Jack, what are we doing here?
Okay, I'm Jack. We haven't even introduced ourselves. I'm Jack. I haven't read that many comics. I mean, I have, but I'm pretty new still, so I'm still learning things. Except I'm learning a lot of things from Grant Morrison's book, which I'm reading right now, Super Gods.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
That's a fantastic primer for, like, comics history and stuff.
It's really cool. Great. Big fan. But I'm recent convert in general, so a lot of you people have been reading more than me, and Doug has, definitely, and he knows a lot more about comics than I do.
Yeah, I'm Doug. I'm the closest thing we've got to a comics expert here. And I, for example, as an example of my comicsmanship,
that's good.
Know who this particular group is. We usually do a character. I'm gonna do a group this week because fuck it.
Bucket.
And this group is the Great Lakes Avengers.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to do a bit here where I'm going to ask Jack some pointed questions here, and he's going to give me answers.
Yes.
Or else.
Yes.
So the Great Lakes Avengers, they are connected to a popular Marvel franchise.
Wait, why'd you should have asked me if they were big too, and then what publisher it was. Like, come on, Doug.
Okay, we'll go back to that one. Hold on. Let's not skip that one. What publisher do you think they come from?
Marvel.
No, DC. I'm kidding. It's Marvel. So, can you guess? Can you guess what team they have an affiliation with?
What theme? What team?
What team?
Oh, Avengers?
No, the X-Men. Yes, it's the Avengers.
Okay, that joke kind of has diminishing returns there.
Nope, can't think of a way to make that into the same joke. So Great Lakes Avengers. They are actually, I don't know if they have an official affiliation with the Avengers. Not sure. Don't know.
Okay.
But they are, they're a superhero team.
Wait, are you saying official affiliation in that the Avengers don't like reference them? Or what does official affiliation mean in this sense?
Like in that, I'm not sure if they are officially sanctioned or licensed or whatever by the Avengers.
Like how Deadpool has that little card that says he's a whatever Avenger, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that like they filled out the appropriate paperwork and submitted it to Tony Stark or Captain America or whoever.
Okay.
And that they sent them back a letter and some money or whatever saying like, go with God, use our name.
Go with God? Are the Avengers religion based?
You know, you would have to imagine that Cap is, right?
I mean, in the movie, he said, there's only one God, ma'am, and he doesn't dress like that. But, which would think in the movies, but I haven't ever seen a reference to religion in the comics.
He's a white blonde guy from the 30s and 40s.
Yeah,
right?
But a lot of white blonde guys from the 30s and 40s were also Nazis.
He's a white blonde American.
Am I wrong?
Non-German man. Anyway. So, yeah, they're not sure if they have an official affiliation with the Avengers, but they're a group that calls themselves the Great Lakes Avengers. And can you guess? Okay, so you have kind of the name kind of narrows it down. Where do you think they are? They're based?
Probably like the Midwest, heartland of the United States, sort of thing.
Hold on. I asked the question. Okay, I see. Where did you say?
Like, just in general in, like, the Midwest. Like,
okay, but do you have a specific city? If you had to guess a Midwest city in which you would have the Great Lakes Avengers, what city do you think they're in? Like what's a major city in the Midwest region around the Great Lakes?
Chicago?
That would be a good guess. It's in fact Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. I mean, that makes sense too. Chicago is usually seen as like, I don't know, I feel like Milwaukee sounds like more of a Midwest city. You know what I mean? Like Chicago is like
Chicago is a Midwest city.
It is a Midwest
Chicago
city.
Is the Midwest city.
It is. No, I know Chicago is a Midwest city, but to people not from the Midwest, I feel like Chicago is more of like, they would think of Chicago as more on tier with like the big cities on the East Coast and the West Coast, and they would think of something like Milwaukee as like, oh, that's a smaller like oh, that's big. Like I don't know how people think. Whatever.
You don't know how people think, do you?
No, I don't. In any case,
no, not at all. So they're in Milwaukee. Oh, and they apparently then they moved to Detroit.
Oh, okay, because I was going to guess Michigan.
That's which would have been I could have seen you guessing Detroit. Maybe
I was going to say like Lansing because I couldn't remember what the big city in Michigan was. Honestly,
Lansing, Michigan.
Lansing's the capital. Give me a break.
Is it? Okay, I'm an idiot.
Oh, dog.
I'm a dumb. I don't know geography. So yeah, I like how this Comic Con page for them, which I need to stop using this website, it says they are the Midwest's greatest defenders. They are also the Midwest's only defenders. which is very amusing. Whoever wrote that on Comic Con. Yeah, so this is a team. I don't know how many more questions I can ask you. I guess,
do you think this Avengers team, Light?
Sort of. Like they're a group of superheroes. They're calling themselves that. Do you think this is a group that is like a serious team, or do you think this is more of a joke?
I think it's a serious team.
They are most definitely a joke.
Oh, okay.
This is a team that is led by a character named Flatman.
What?
And Flatman is basically Mr. Fantastic, only he's flat.
Like always. His normal form is flat?
Yeah, he's flat.
Like, does he walk and he's like one of those cartoony looking like whatever, or is he like flat on the ground like a puddle all the time?
No, he walks around. He's just also flat, like a flat Stanley.
Why doesn't he just, if he has powers of Mr. Fantastic, like that stretch powers?
No, he has to be flat though.
Okay, I get that, but in the theory of the comic.
He can stretch. He can stretch as much as he wants, but he has to stay in like a near 2-dimensional plane.
It doesn't make any sense because if he
look up a picture of Flatman. Here, I'll give you a link to the page to the images page for Flatman.
Okay, but I know what I'm about to see. I really know what I'm about to see, but I don't understand why he can't just.
Oh, wait, no, there are images here that appear to be him with just a normal human form. So maybe he can fill himself out?
He just feels more at home when he's flat?
Yeah, maybe he's just more comfortable. It's like kicking his shoes off,
That is so... Okay, I mean, that makes me feel a little bit better that at least sometimes he does that. Val Ventura.
Mm-hmm.
It says debuted in Avengers West Coast. Okay. Oh!
Which is a different one.
That's
this
cool.
Is the Great Lakes Avengers.
He's one of the only openly gay superheroes.
That's what the page says. I feel like that has to be severely outdated.
Yeah, that's probably it. I mean, since 1989, he might have been one of the first ones.
No, I'm not saying he wasn't maybe at the time.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot of open, not like a lot. Like there probably still should be more, but like I feel like I can name a few.
Yeah.
Here,
So
let's quiz me on it. No.
Do you want to tell me like if there's like is there a casual like a specific roster of people that are usually on the Great Lakes Avengers, or I don't know, who is it? Anybody I know that are on the Great Lakes Avengers?
No, there's not. Here, I could give you like a quiz about maybe like what the powers of some of the other people on the team are.
Okay, sure.
So we got a character here who's a kind of a classic in quotes, member of the Great Lakes Avengers named Big Bertha. What's her power?
Big Bertha is a giant and she has enhanced strength.
She can transform from being a skinny person to being, and I quote here again from the Comic Find page, remarkably obese.
What?
Yeah.
What? Why obese?
And then it says, and back through the power of regurgitation. So she's
just a crazy bulimic?
Kind of? Although I don't think she's like eating things, so I'm not really entirely sure.
But how does she throw up? What does she throw up?
It says through regurgitation. I'm looking at a panel here where she does throw up, and then she's small again. Yep, she's definitely... Yep, I'm looking at... Here's a sequence of panels here where she is very fat. She goes into a bathroom.
Oh
There's
my
a large
God.
Vomit sound effect with a splatter around it. And then she walks out as like this like hypersexualized woman in her underwear.
That's terrible.
It's kind of terrible.
That's really funny though.
That's pretty funny. And then we've got Doorman. What does Doorman do?
Wait, isn't that... Oh, wait, I know who that is. That's just Eldrak, right?
I mean, it's kind of like Eldrak, in all honesty. But it's not Eldrak.
Okay.
This man, I'll just tell you, this man is able to, like, apply himself onto surfaces and become basically a door or a portal to places.
Huh.
So he, like, presses himself against a wall and becomes a door to somewhere else.
Anywhere else.
Let's see. It says pass through him and to the other side. Oh wait. Oh no. Not to anywhere. Just through the wall.
Oh.
He literally just becomes a door.
Oh God! Of course.
I need to read some of this shit. I've never actually read a Great Lakes Avengers book. I think I read the first issue of the relaunch they did a few years back.
There are literally... Oh, it's called GLA. That's funny because it's like JLA.
That is pretty good. But yeah, I don't think I've ever read like a run of Great Lakes Avengers.
We should both read the original 1989 run.
Oh my God. I don't know that I'm going to commit myself to reading like an entire run of this. It sounds pretty funny though.
It does. Okay, well, yeah. Shit. Okay. What a goddamn Doorman, all this stuff. Okay. I'm satisfied. This is a good group, Doug.
Yeah.
This was a good one.
This is very good.
So what have you seen them in? Were you aware of them at all, or were you just like trying to go through Comic Vine to find annoying things?
Again, I read at least, like, I read the first issue of, like, a relaunch a few years back. I think I've seen at least Flatman show up in some other stuff. I think I've seen the Great Lakes Avengers show up in a different book I was reading at some point, and I don't remember what the book was. But I've seen them around, kind of just in Marvel stuff.
Okay.
I don't have like a great familiarity with all of the characters, but like I know who Flatman is if I see him, and if other people are with him, I can deduce that they're like Big Bertha and whatever else. Squirrel Girl, who you've probably heard of, is a kind of perennial member of that team.
Okay. Well, she's someone I know that I remember when I asked you, is there anyone I know that's part of the usual thing?
Yeah, I didn't think of her, but she is. Yeah, she's
the unbeatable Squirrel Girl, right?
The unbeatable Squirrel.
Why are people so into Squirrel Girl?
She's a comedy character. Like, I don't know. I like Squirrel Girl.
Okay. Okay. Cool. I love it. I'm really glad I know who they are now, because now I can pick them out in the Where's Waldo type splash pages where everyone is Waldo.
Where everyone is Waldo.
Yes.
Which, like, I realized after I said that the other week that that's not really a metaphor that really makes all that much sense.
No.
Like, if you were looking at a Where's Waldo page and everyone was Waldo, what are you looking for?
You're not... that was the whole joke, I thought. Why are you delving into the... What?
I know, I guess that was the joke, but let's talk about this for the next half.
Okay, Doug, how was your week?
My week was great. Let's see. I got back to watching Better Call Saul.
Okay,
which,
yeah. You didn't watch the rest of the first season? They're on like season 4 now.
Are they? Are they that far?
They're pretty fucking far or something like that. I watched like 2 seasons or something.
Yeah, I never finished the first season. I was watching with my girlfriend and for some reason we just fell off and couldn't coordinate to watch it together. And so I just took it upon myself to just watch it by myself because I can just watch it all at once. And I realized as I was watching, I started from... I didn't watch the first episode because I've seen that like 3 times.
Yeah.
So I skipped that one. But I started the second episode and I was like, oh, okay, I have seen this. And then I got about 4 episodes in and I was like, I've seen this one too. And then I got to about episode 8 or 9.
Of 10?
And then I was like, I haven't seen this one. So apparently I watched most of the first season of Better Call Saul and had forgotten pretty much everything that happened in it. It's a great show.
Oh, it is so great.
But I think I just forgot because I never got closure on it and never finished it.
Yeah.
But
I didn't watch anything. I watched like the first episode of the second season, but that was it. It's great.
I'm definitely gonna continue in the next week or so trying to watch season 2. But yeah, I really like that first season.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good piece of television.
The first piece for the first season is like it has those flashbacks where he's working at Cinnabon, right?
Flash forwards.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Okay. And it okay. Just wanted to clarify because I haven't watched the first season in a while, and I haven't watched that first season episode of season 2 yet. Cool. And okay, so you have written down here that you started a game in Ultimate Alliance, and I've heard a lot about this game because I think they have ads for it in a lot of Marvel stuff. What is it? I've never heard of it, or I've heard of it, but I've never looked up anything.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance was a game that, well, I'm about to look up when this came out. Looks like 2006.
Oh, shit.
So it's an old game. There were 2 of them. So there's Ultimate Alliance and Ultimate Alliance 2. I played it back when it first came out. I believe I played it on the Wii, I think.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's a game in which you are commanding a team of 4 Marvel characters. You pick from a big roster of characters, any 4 of them. They all have unique powers and abilities. They've all got different stuff. They're like Spider-Man. If you hold down the jump button, he can swing around and fly, like basically fly. It's like mechanically the same.
So is it top down?
It's almost top down. It's 3D, but it's like you're looking from like kind of a camera up on high, and you directly control one of the characters, but you can like instantly swap between any of them at any time.
Okay.
So you can like, I'm gonna play as Spider-Man for a minute, and then I want to play as Mr. Fantastic now, and whatever. And there's a lot of characters in it. A pretty big roster. I never played the second one, and I bought them in a bundle, so I'm excited to, whenever I finish the first one, get around to playing that.
Is it like a story?
Yeah. There's a whole story mode. Dr. Doom's the villain. He's like created a new Masters of Evil, which is like a name that a lot of different Marvel villain teams have used over the years.
It's a Legion of Evil analog.
It's like a Legion of Doom, or
Legion of Doom.
It's just like, here's a bunch of really big Marvel villains. They are the Masters of Evil.
All right.
But Dr. Doom and like Loki are oftentimes a big part of that. But they're big parts of this game. It's like a spiritual follow-up to, have you ever played the X-Men Legends games? They're basically the same thing, but just with X-Men characters, mutant characters.
I feel like maybe I've watched you play something like this or something like, I don't know. I don't remember.
We might have played a little bit of it at some point. I don't know. But it's fun. It came out in 2006, so that's
12 years ago.
12 years ago. It came out at a time when I was like interested in comics, but I wasn't like reading comics regularly. I had read some stuff probably. But like I learned a lot of my working Marvel knowledge from that game. You go to like, there's a huge roster of characters, a lot of which I hadn't even never heard of. You go to like all over the Marvel universe, to all these big locations.
Yeah.
You go to you go to like the
Sounds like you learned a lot.
Realm where Ghost Rider and Mephisto and stuff are. You go to Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum. You go to Atlantis, Stark Tower. You're on a helicarrier in the first level. And like a lot of that stuff I learned directly from that game. And there's like a really robust like trivia system in the game where you like answer questions about the history. And I spent like a weird amount of time like digging into like learning the answers. Because you would get like experience, or you get some sort of reward. I don't remember. I haven't gotten to that point in the game yet, but for like answering trivia questions about the Marvel universe correctly. But you can like go around and ask people questions, and they'll kind of give you the answers in dialogue. And so I'd go around and learn all these things about the Marvel universe, and then go back to like answer the trivia questions correctly at, I think the Vision gives them to you or something. But
interesting. That's really cool.
So like I learned a lot of stuff about Marvel from that.
Wow. I would say I probably have a similar experience with Injustice, because I learned a lot from that story mode, because they go so many places too. So that's interesting that this is like that. Maybe I should look this up.
Yeah, it's definitely an older game. Like some of the mechanics and stuff haven't aged well, but I'm enjoying it. On a lot of it's probably a nostalgia, but I think it's a great game. Like for the time when it came out, I really enjoyed it. The second one is based on Civil War.
Oh,
so
it's fun. Yeah. Okay,
cool,
very cool. Well, for me, I started playing a game as well. I know we have a lot of comics talk in our non-comics related media area, but I originally put on here, started playing Arkham Asylum, and we actually just finished it last night. So I just finished playing Arkham Asylum last night, the first one, because I'd never played it before. It was great. I don't really... Okay, so I don't think I like it as much as Arkham City. I think I like Arkham City better for reasons, but I really liked this setting. I really do.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I loved I don't know, I liked a lot of the boss battles, too. I know you were telling me that a lot of them were, like, the same, but that's not true.
There are exceptions. Like,
Poison Ivy battle is different. The
Poison Ivy battle is the one standout. The Poison Ivy battle is the one standout. The Croc battle's not even a battle, though. The Croc battle, honestly, I found kind of annoying. It's not a battle. It's just like you have to walk really slowly, and every once in a while, a Croc will pop up. But it's the Poison Ivy battle is the one different one, and then like the Scarecrow ones.
Yeah, the Scarecrow.
But like every other villain major villain you fight in the game, even Joker, they're a big hulking brute, and the mechanic is throw a batarang at them so they're stunned, jump up on their back and punch them.
Okay, that's not what Joker is even, though. With Joker, you have to pull him down with the bat claw, and then punch him a little bit, and then he has guys
and
to
then
come
jump
over.
on his head and punch him.
Okay, I don't know. I think the main one that you're mad at is Bane is like that, which makes sense.
Bane is exactly like that. Yeah.
I can understand.
And that's kind of what Killer Croc is, too, just without the, like, more open arena.
Okay, I can see what you're saying, but I don't know. I wasn't as annoyed by that. I think it's...
Yeah, no, it's a quibble. I really like that game.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that they could have done more with the boss battles, and I think they did in Arkham City.
Yeah.
I really like that first game, and it has a really nice... A lot of people like that one more because it's more focused from a story standpoint, and
it's
like
very
the setting
linear.
Yeah, like I like the like Die Hard but Batman in Arkham Asylum.
Yes,
like that's pretty cool as an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan.
One thing I do wish, speaking of the Die Hard sort of thing, and kind of like how Arkham City was, I wish there were more, like, maybe I just didn't have it on hard, maybe it would be different if it was on a harder difficulty, but I wish there were more, like, random thugs walking around Arkham Asylum. Because there weren't
maybe.
A lot.
Yeah. I don't remember, like, when you clear out an area, do thugs kind of fill it back up again if you leave and come back after a while? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Or is it more story-tied?
It's more story-tied. It's mainly story-tied, which honestly surprised me a little bit. I didn't know they had such kind of a departure for Arkham City and Arkham Knight or whatever, so... I don't know. I was not expecting that, but I really liked it.
Yeah.
I like a linear game because sometimes it gets a little overwhelming when you don't have linearity, and I like having that balance. But no, yeah, I really liked it. I think they definitely refined the combat system in the later ones as well.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, I thought I was a big fan. Big fan.
Yeah, it's an excellent game. Yeah, like just from like a pure standpoint of just like. I hadn't really been a Batman game like that before. Like that was the first game that really like superhero game that really like felt like, oh my god, like this like feels like I'm like controlling this superhero character. It feels like I'm Batman. Like the way in which they like integrated the stealth and action stuff in it.
I did hear of another video game that came out before those games that apparently a lot of people like, but not a lot of people have played. It's like Batman and then a word. I'm trying to look it up now. Batman. Oh crap! List of Batman.
I'm not sure I know what game you're talking about.
Video games. 1 second.
Was it a movie related one, or
No,
was it just
not,
like a comics licensed thing?
It was just a comics licensed thing. Batman. I'm trying to find. No, it's not in 1991. Return of the Joker. No. God damn it! Where is it? Vengeance. Batman Vengeance. It came out for Nintendo GameCube, PlayStation 2, and it's like a kind of has third-person shooter elements. It came out in 2001. Oh. It was kind of like based off of the animated series, and has those voices and everything still, I believe. Based on most... one second, here we go. Before the start, plot points include Mr. Freeze. I don't know. I don't know that much about it, but you've never heard about it?
No, I don't think I haven't really played any of the Batman animated series related games. I know there were a few of them.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's move on into news. Highlights. Actually, I don't know if we should keep like doing a specific... Oh, Aaron, it is still a specific section. We'll just keep doing our news.
Just keep saying news. We're just not talking about it as much anymore.
Yeah. Well, this week, we talked about it a little bit. Ant-Man and the Wasp came out, and we're going to see it for the next episode, but we haven't seen it yet, but it's supposed to get good reviews. I heard that some people aren't... like, some reviews have mentioned that it suffers because it doesn't have a main villain.
That's interesting.
I mean... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know like what kind of role the Ghost would have otherwise. So I mean, I'm interested to see how they make that work. But yeah, that's the main thing I've heard about this movie thus far.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm very excited to see it. I'm hoping to see it. We're recording this on Saturday. I'm hoping to see it either tonight or tomorrow.
Okay.
But
you might have surge pricing tonight for.
Oh shit! Is it not just opening night? Like, is it opening weekend?
Okay, so I believe it's depending on how many people are getting that showing specifically. Like, based on the sales they're doing at the movie theater, not necessarily how many people on Movie Pass are doing.
That's fucking stupid. Just make it like Friday and Saturday, or just Friday or whatever. Like, don't make me like have to be like, oh, well, how many people are going to this showing? Like, fucking. Anyways,
I mean, part of it also will have to do with if you get it earlier. Theoretically, less people will have done it, and I think you'll have more of a chance of not having surge pricing.
So they won't. So if I buy tickets earlier, like, it won't like retroactively like charge me. That seems weird. I feel like they would be better off to. I feel like they'd be better off to just say it's like Thursday, Friday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or whatever.
I don't know. I might be wrong. Who knows? I just think it would be smart of them to base it off of the ticket sales.
I'm going to go whenever I don't have to pay extra money to them.
I'm thinking about going on Tuesday, so I think that'll be definitely safe, and I'll get a good seat. But yeah, that should be fun. I hope. I'm really excited to see it. I don't know what else to say. I wonder what they're going to do at Comic-Con. They'll probably release something about Captain Marvel, but that's so far away still.
Yeah, it's a ways away, but like also, yeah, this is the big event before it comes out. So you'd think they'd put something there, but I every year you hear like, oh, shocker, like the big Marvel thing's not going to be at Comic-Con. And then they, of course, always end up having some sort of presence there. But
yeah,
I feel like we heard a while back that like Captain Marvel wasn't going to be there, but like they'll fucking show something.
Yeah,
whether
they'll at least
it's
release
like,
something online. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. We will in some form, whether it's at the show or not, around that time, we'll get something from Captain Marvel.
Yeah. And then, since we are recording this on Saturday, we'll move on to our next one, which is very sad. Just today, this morning, we learned that
that was actually, I believe that was yesterday.
Oh.
The article I'm looking at was on the 6th.
Okay.
At about 5 o'clock.
Never mind then.
But
yesterday, Friday, Steve Ditko, the co-creator of Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Doug Knows More, he died at 90, which is not good and very sad.
Yeah. He's a pretty influential Marvel creator specifically. He is the artist who co-created Spider-Man and Doctor Strange with Stan Lee.
Mm-hmm.
He also over at he made Squirrel Girl, co-created that character.
Mm-hmm.
He over at DC created The Question and who else? The Creeper. You probably don't know who that is.
No.
But he created a lot of characters. He created like the look of pretty much all of the big Spider-Man villains, being like the original artist from that series. So like, yeah, it's this article lists Dr. Octopus, Sandman, Lizard, Green Goblin. I think he did Electro, probably all of the Sinister Six characters.
And you know what's crazy to me is like I haven't really thought about this till now, like how important like both the writer and artist to create the character is. Like he made the basis for every single iteration of Spider-Man, basically.
Yeah,
which is insane.
He also this Hollywood Reporter article that I think broke this news talk about to give an anecdote. That's basically Stan Lee had the basic idea that he wanted to do a teen superhero with spider powers. Mm-hmm. And he went to Jack Kirby, his like frequent collaborator. They did a lot of the kind of formative stuff at early Marvel, and gave him that pitch. And Jack Kirby gave him back a design, and Stan Lee said, "But we want to do something different." Went to Steve Ditko, and so based on that really basic pitch, They were both given the same pitch, and Steve Ditko came out with the Spider-Man costume that we all know.
Wow.
That classic costume. And he came up with that. He came up with the web shooters on the wrists. Like pretty much all of the visual like details of that character and how he works, like swinging from the webs and stuff. That's all Steve Ditko.
I wonder if the Jack Kirby drawings are anywhere on the internet.
Yeah, if you Google it, you can. There's not a lot of images of it, but it's mostly like people doing their versions of the original Jack Kirby design.
Yeah,
but like it looks like a very like pulpy. Like he's got goggles and he's shooting webs from a gun. He keeps on a holster on his hip. But
I mean, I can see that being popular like back in the day.
Yeah, like it looks like a very like pulp, more traditional pulp comics character,
like a Red Bee sort of thing.
Like the Red Bee, yeah.
Yeah. Did he like? I mean, for things like, I don't know what I'm trying to ask. Like, how long was he around the comics community specifically? Do you know? Like creating.
Let's see. It's I'm not entirely sure. Like, it says among his last creations was Squirrel Girl in 1992.
Oh wow!
So like he was working like Spider-Man was in I don't know a date, but it was in 1961. So he was working in there for
30
about
years.
30 years. You know, he worked on Spider-Man for a long time, Doctor Strange for a long time. He did a long run on The Question as well.
Mm-hmm. Have you read a straight up Steve Ditko illustrated book or anything?
I've read issues. I've not like read like his run on Spider-Man or anything, but like, that's the kind of classic stuff that like someday I will get around to reading like that kind of more formative stuff. I'm just starting to try to get myself to read like Kirby stuff. Mm-hmm. So like,
well, because you the whole Fourth World stuff.
Yeah. But I would love to read his Doctor Strange stuff. That's supposed to be like one of, or probably like the highlight of like his art is his crazy, trippy,
magic
strange stuff.
Strange. That's good.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Wow.
Yeah.
That's sad,
very, very important figure to like the early days of Marvel.
Yeah.
Created a lot of classic designs and stuff. Yeah.
He had a long life, a successful life, and it, you know, when people pass, that's one thing that you have to keep in mind, you know?
Yeah, did you say how old he was? I don't remember.
He was 90.
He was 90. So, yeah, I don't know if anyone knows how he died, but it sounds like he was pretty big recluse. Like didn't really like the fact that he was famous in any way. So yeah, like the director of the Doctor Strange movie, Scott Derrickson, was like talking about how like I haven't really been in contact with him. Wherever he is, I hope he sees the movie and likes it. When that came out, you know, like but yeah, really, really important figure. And that's a shame to see him go.
Yeah.
It
happens. But you know, all you can ask for is that someone had a successful, long, fruitful life, and it didn't sound like he had many problems, at least. So that's good.
I mean, knowing how a lot of early comics, like creator compensation stuff went, I can tell you, he probably wasn't like doing great.
Well, okay, yes,
but like I don't know. It's hard to tell because he was so private. But
okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll move on from that. Maybe we should have done that last. I'm sorry. Feels weird to go into other news stories.
Yeah. In lighter news.
That's good. I actually just learned about this yesterday, and Samantha just started telling me about like what they released as like a description or whatever. And I was like, no, don't tell. We shouldn't know anything.
Yeah. So Descender, the series from Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen, is continuing. It was ending. Well, I mean, Descender's not continuing, it's ending
next week, right?
With next or this month's issue, which I don't recall what issue number it is, but it's the last issue's coming out this month.
Yeah.
And it's continuing with a new series called Ascender, which I won't give any specifics, but it's making a pretty significant like left turn in terms of like the content. Did Samantha tell you
I got a bit, but now is this supposed to taken place in a far future?
It says 10 years after.
Okay.
So it's going to be somewhat of a different story, but like sounds like a continuation of the same
ideas, maybe.
Idea. Like characters are going to be in it, and it's going to continue like the like large plot ideas, but I think it's the main character. I mean, the sense was kind of an ensemble, but like, you know, Tim 21 is kind of the focus, and it sounds like it's going to be slightly focusing on a different character.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't want to say too much because again, you're not caught up, and in case anyone else isn't caught up or isn't reading this book and wants to someday.
Oh, you should read it. The art is beautiful. The writing is Jeff Lemire, and can't say much else. Oh gosh.
Yeah. But it's taking an element, a very different element that's come up in like the last 5 issues or so, and running with that in a way that seems very different from the rest of the series. I'm interested to see where it goes because it's been a really weird, different element. This new part of it that they're latching onto in the last few issues. So.
Interesting. It was just like the last few issues that they just started kind of referencing it, and then it's.
It was in the later part of it, like in the last. It was I think in like the last 5 issues. Definitely the last like 10, where they introduced this new kind of thematic element, and that's very different from the rest of it. And they're expanding on that.
Okay. So, cool. Okay. Well, I'm really excited. That book was great. I loved volume 1. I have volume 2. I just haven't read it yet. But yeah, cool. Doug, let's move on into our very large comics section here. God, this week I had 11 fucking books.
For you, that's really big. Like that's like a decently large book for me normally. Like I try to keep my large weeks under that if I can, but it's gotten a little inflated for me lately. I had I believe 13 books this week, but
oh Jesus.
But like we both had a very big week this week.
But like, you know, one of them was Terrifics. Another one I'm dropping unexpected. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so you went back and picked up Terrifics number 5, you said?
Yeah. Yeah, we just talked about this off the show.
I know, I wanted to talk about it on the show just really quickly.
Oh, okay.
Since it's not really part of this.
Okay. Well, I'm just pulling back the curtain, Doug. Terrifics number 5, I picked it up. It's great. I love the structure of, they do like each character in a panel for the beginning part of it, and then when they get together, it's like normal. Loved that. I love like playing with that panel structure. I love all the like stuff they're going through themselves, but they're not like, that angsty thing that you were talking about was a problem. And I'm just really glad I skipped the last 2 issues too, because it would have just been such a slog, I feel like. And it
like got progressively better as it went. But this one and the last one. This one's a really good jumping on point.
Yes.
But like the last one is the one where it really felt like it started to kind of like get its footing. And this one, it just hit the ground running.
Good.
With just fun, good superhero storytelling. And I'm really happy that I'm enjoying that book because I really was excited for it.
Yeah.
Before it came out.
Definitely.
I'm really happy to hear that you're liking it, because I know you were pretty disappointed by those early issues.
Yeah, but I'm very happy. It's new characters to get involved with and everything too.
Yeah.
So Doug, we had a lot of other books that we had. And I will read them off right here. We had another Jeff Lemire, The Quantum Age #1, which is from the world of Black Hammer. We had also a double penetration from Donny Cates of Death of the Inhumans #1 and Cosmic Ghost Rider #1, which was fun. We had Immortal Hulk #2, Avengers #3, Justice League #3, Death or Glory #3, and Man of Steel number 6. Did you see what I did there?
You said a lot of 3s.
No, I ordered them from by issue number. 1s, then the 2, then 3s, and then 6.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Cool. I also picked up Batman number 50, which was an oversized kind of 50th issue special. That was the wedding of Batman and Catwoman was what was on the cover. Yep. And yeah, we'll maybe talk about that in a minute. Captain America number 1 from Ta-Nehisi Coates and Lineal Francis Yu. We got Hillbilly number 11, Paper Girls number 22, and on a whim, because I didn't have a big enough week apparently, I saw that this series from Dynamite, Project Superpowers, was 10 cents.
Wow.
So I picked it up. So I picked up Project Superpowers, or sorry, I don't think it's number 1. I think it's actually number 0. It's like a prelude issue, which is why it's 10 cents.
Interesting.
So maybe we'll talk about that later if we have time.
Okay. And then I also picked up by myself. I picked up Paradiso number 5, which continued finally this week, and Unexpected number 2.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put this out there. I'm dropping that book because I just don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't care. Yeah. And I will give them credit. They weren't expected. They did not bring those people back, even though they're on the cover. But I just don't care. I just don't care at all.
I'm willing to bet they'll still bring them back if they put them on the cover of the second issue.
I don't know, man. They literally said in the issue, spoilers, I guess, if you care.
Spoiler warning.
Yeah, we'll do spoiler warning now. Spoiler warning. For Unexpected number 2, they mentioned specifically, no, they are dead, but I will avenge them. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that was kind of the feeling I had after that first issue. It was just like, all right, well, like, a lot of stuff happened. I don't really know what to latch on to.
Yeah.
Like, it just kind
of
like...
When they had a whole solicitation about the conflict engine and her having to start a fight every 24 hours, I thought that was going to be a main crux of it. Like, oh, is she going to be able to start a fight somewhere? Like, how is she going to do that? Like, I thought that would be really cool.
Well, yeah, it's like they picked that specific premise, but then they put it in a series where the action never stops.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a huge misstep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to put her in a book where it's just constant action. Like, if that character... I'm sure this will be an issue that she'll have to run into at some point.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like if that's the crux of the character, like, why is she in this book?
Why wouldn't you challenge that? Why wouldn't you put her somewhere where she's trapped or something with people that maybe are good people and are friends and might get annoyed by her trying to pick fights with them all the time or something like that? Maybe they don't know about her thing. Like, I don't know. There's so many interesting things you could do.
I feel like it's also a character who probably just would work better as a solo character.
Yeah.
You know? And I know it's hard to pitch. It's probably easier for, like, all new characters to pitch a team book than it is to be like, and here's a book about this new character, Firebrand, who has all this new stuff. Like, but, like, it's probably easier to pitch, like, here's a bunch of new characters.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I don't know. I don't know. We don't need to. I feel like this may be an argument for a future segment that I think might be interesting. I don't want to turn it into, like, just a shit talk fest, but I think it might be interesting to check in each week on the books that we're always on the fence about. Like, are we dropping it or something like that?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I can answer that question for this. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm dropping.
I already dropped it after the first issue.
I know. Okay, so
which sad. It's got a lot of interesting ideas in it.
It really does. Truly does, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So does Eternity Girl, and you're not digging on that either.
I'm going to keep reading it because I just desperately... We're getting very sidetracked here, but I desperately want to latch onto that book. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff in it. I just don't love it to the degree that you seem to be loving it, and I find that kind of a little bit mystifying, exactly what I'm not seeing in it that you are. A lot of people are. Like, I see a lot of really good reviews and stuff on the internet for that book, and I like it. I don't love it as much as you, and I'm not sure why.
Well, it comes out next week. It's 5 of 6 next week, so it's close to being done.
Yeah, it's a mini series. So,
Yeah.
At the very least, it's not a huge investment. But.
Let's talk about this week, Doug. The big thing this week, biggest thing probably in all of comics, was the Batman number 50. And it stirred up some controversy even before it was released. And then after it was released, also, I saw some controversy. Not a lot of people, it was very divisive. So tell me about tell me about it. What's up?
I mean, I don't want to spoil the book for you, but I will say the before release thing was fucking Marvel and DC are terrible about just like, I mean, I get it. They want to try to draw in new readers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like those people don't care about if the book is spoiled because they weren't reading the book to begin with. And they just want to entice people who are like, oh, Batman and Catwoman are getting married. But like they fucking spoiled the ending of Batman number 50 in the New York Times.
Yeah. In the New York Times.
Yeah. And like the New York Times like put out like a thing on the internet being like, we're really sorry about, like the author of the article like said like afterwards like we didn't realize this was like a thing that people would get upset about. Can you please like tell us about like how we should be handling spoilers in media? And like I don't want to make a huge thing about like spoiler culture or whatever because like I don't know like I feel like if they give them the material like reporters can do whatever they want with it like
yeah,
but like and like people should be able to talk about media openly and stuff, but also it's just like the internet has made it very, very easy to get stuff spoiled in for you. And I feel like it just like with that needs to come an extra like an extra bit of thought in how you talk about stuff, especially stuff with like twists and stuff.
Well, honestly, this isn't really a new
internet.
problem. They've been releasing movie reviews in the paper for years.
Yeah,
for
but like usually they don't put the fucking ending in it.
Exactly.
In the
No, that's
title.
what I'm saying. This isn't a new problem. Like, I don't understand why they would think that this was like a new problem. Like, how should we handle this? You know how to fucking handle
bullshit.
it. You're a fucking...
It's clickbait bullshit, you know? Like, they, like, no one's gonna click on, like, the article that says, like, let's talk about the ending of Batman 50 or whatever. Or, like, the ending of Batman 50 says this about whatever. Like, because no one's reading Batman, because comics is a tiny niche market.
Yeah.
But, like, if you say, like, whoa, this crazy thing happens, like, it's sensational and people will click on it.
Yeah.
That's entirely the motivation.
But the title of it was Batman, It Was Never Meant to Be, which gives it away and doesn't sound very clickbait.
Yeah, I guess. I actually hadn't actually heard the title of it because I was avoiding it like the plague.
Oh, I read it just because, like, you know, I didn't read the whole article, but I read the title and I was like, God damn you people.
Which also misleading, I would say. And I think people are jumping to a lot of conclusions here because the story at the end of this issue is not final.
I heard a little bit about, like, what it means and stuff and how, like, can I just say a little bit?
Sure. I mean, I guess if you already had it spoiled for you, then...
Well, I heard that it's, like, kind of... Catwoman got worried that... Like, you were telling me earlier that they were exploring, like, what does it mean if Batman is happy?
Yes.
And that Catwoman was thinking about it and was like, how can he be Batman if he's happy? And how can I do that to him? How can I, like, take this away from people? Is that kind of like the idea? Which I think is a really cool character thing.
That is exactly the idea that they're, like, directly talking about in this. So spoilers for it, I guess.
We already did a spoiler warning.
Yeah, I know. I'm just extra making sure because this one's a major development for this long-running plot. So they're going to get married and Catwoman basically leaves him at the altar. And it's, you know,
at the altar? Yeah. Oh God.
It's not an altar because they're doing it kind of like
courtroom style, one or two witnesses.
Yeah, sort of. They're doing it on a rooftop. They con a drunk judge from a bar into coming to do it for them. I'm waiting. I'm doing a wait and see here because, it does feel like a little bit of a bait and switch because we've been building to it for so long. At the same time, when you're building towards a big development like that for so long, there's only, it feels like kind of the only card you can play, you know?
Yeah.
Like, to upset expectations, to, keep the story interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we're building towards the thing, and the thing happened. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
But also, I don't know. It's not like this thing came out of nowhere, too. Like, I remember you telling me, like, months ago that, they're exploring ideas of, like, what does it mean for Batman to be happy and stuff, which, it's, I don't know. Bait and switch, I think, is not as applicable. I mean, it is. I understand what you're saying, but it's not as applicable because that was put in the writing for a specific reason, and it's rearing its head now, which is just good writing by Tom King.
It's the same frustration, and I think it's slightly different because, again, the story is not over. It's not final.
Mm-mm.
But it's the same situation where people were more angry at this one for some reason. I don't quite understand why, but it's the same situation that happened with the X-Men wedding a little while ago. It's the exact same thing happened.
The Gambit thing?
Yeah, except where like Kitty Pryde and Colossus were going to get married and then decided not to, and then a different couple got married instead, which is literally a bait and switch.
Yeah.
But they just married a different couple, and I'm pretty sure that story's just like over in the sense that like I don't think Kitty Pryde and Colossus are going to get married now. Like I think there's still the potential for this wedding thing to still go through, and if it doesn't, I have enough faith in Tom King that and I think he's playing with enough interesting ideas here. Like this is a very motivated writing decision. Like he's using it to explore interesting ideas about Batman and Catwoman and this whole thing. And people just need to be patient and see where it's going to go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we also. Well, okay. Should we go into our normal stuff now, or is sorry.
Yeah.
I got a little. I don't even know the words. I don't know words. I don't know language. Doug, let's talk about our covers of the week.
Okay.
Am I going first, or do you want to go first? What's up?
You can go first.
I'm going first. Screw you.
There's a bit of a theme to our covers this week, I will say.
Really?
If you didn't notice it, then yeah, I guess I'll point it out once we get to mine.
I mean, I remember the cover of yours. I just don't understand how that. Okay, whatever. Maybe they're the same. They're the same artist.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Well, my cover of the week is the Immortal Hulk #2, which I specifically called out that it was going to be my cover of the week probably when the first issue came out of this, because it's so fucking cool. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great cover.
It's just the amount of detail that's put into it. I'm just such a sucker for when they use one color, and it's so cool. Like, okay, yeah, they have a little bit other color with Bruce Banner over here, but they just basically use green, and it's so cool that they can use so much depth and just detail with one goddamn color. Green. So
this is the regular cover to Immortal Hulk #2.
Yes.
It's an Alex Ross cover, so it's painted. It's if anyone is familiar with Alex Ross's style, it looks like Alex Ross painted cover. And can you just kind of explain exactly what the kind of the composition is here?
So basically what's going on here is we're in like a cave sort of thing with some water, and a green spectral looking humanoid thing, like glowing fluorescent green, is on top of Bruce Banner, and he's choking him while Bruce Banner is reaching his hand up to try and push him off of him. And then we also have under the water, under where Bruce Banner is, a kind of, I guess, reflection of the Hulk trying to punch out of the water underneath Bruce Banner. And it's just barely visible too, and and you just got a hand coming out, a giant Hulk hand coming out of the water. It's just so
it's slightly metaphorical in that like both Bruce Banner and the Hulk are kind of physically existing in this image, but like it's really striking looking. I specifically love the thing that really makes this cover awesome for me. Specifically is how Alex Ross paints the
stalactites.
Oh, they look awesome. Yeah, but the I don't know what this character's name is, but the very radioactive,
Dr. Frey
man. Yeah, he he looks like an X-ray. You know,
yes.
like you can see his bones and stuff, but specifically like how he's shaded and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a negative image, and it like really makes that work in a way that like a more flat coloring style usually has trouble getting across.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool looking. It really stands out on the shelf when you're looking at it.
Yeah, and I just like in general, like how the conflict that it's like showing right now is just such a great central part of this issue too. I wanted to ask you, like, did this issue? I don't know. Were you excited about this issue as I was? Because I loved this issue so much. I thought it brings this series into a really cool place, and I'm really excited to keep reading it.
I might drop this book.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know what the point of this book is.
You didn't?
I don't want to like. I know you're loving this book, and I don't want to talk too much about what kind of confounds me about this. But
I want to. We should have conversations about it. We should disagree more. Honestly, I think it's a great thing. I want to know why you're not digging it.
Can you talk a little bit about? Can you just talk about what you loved so much about this issue?
I thought the story was really gripping. I thought it was really, really great. Like, I don't know, twisting, like the kind of turns that it takes. I have to flip through now that I have to defend myself. I thought that the story that the dad went through was very, very gripping, and that his sort of... Okay, so in general, just so everyone knows, what's going on in this book is that, or in this specific series, is that Bruce Banner learns of, people have been getting sick, and that they've been getting sick when they've in the town, and he tries to investigate a little bit about what's going on, and he talks about how he has a Geiger counter around, and that he talks about his past and his origin as the Hulk. And God, I'm trying to go through this again. I don't know. What I like about this book, he basically tries to look for clues as to why this is happening. He follows the clues to the death of this one kid named John Frey and the disappearance of his dad. He follows with his Geiger counter all the way to this cave out in the middle of nowhere, and he finds the glowing green spectral dude who is Dr. Frey, the father of this kid that died. And
it's Dr. Fry.
Fry, whatever. Fry, yeah, you're right. And he in the Hulk form, he, threatens the guy, and he says, I need to know what you did, what happened here. And so he talks about how he was afraid of death. He used gamma radiation to heal himself, basically, to try and become a bigger, stronger person. And then he did the same thing for his son, because his son was going into football and he wanted to protect him, but his son had a different reaction. He tried to cover it up, and then he realized that he was a walking corpse, basically, because this shit was taking over in a bad way, making him into a spectral dude. And then at the end of the book, we learn that, just like what happened to Bruce Banner, people feel normal, and they look kind of normal for a while when they're exposed to gamma radiation. But then they get sick and they die and they become looking like this dude does in the cave. And we find out that his son has been alive, buried underneath the ground for this entire time, just tortured and just, please let me die. What I love about this is, with our talk about Immortal Hulk and everything, this is playing with that idea of death without killing him, without killing the Hulk. It's playing...
No, he does kill him. He snaps his neck.
I'm talking about Bruce Banner.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the man snaps Bruce Banner's neck in the cave, and that's what brings the Hulk back. There's a big crack sound effect.
Let me see that word.
He's choking him in the cave.
Oh, crack. Oh, you're right.
He says, I'm sorry, they're talking about, he says, I wanted to know if I could die. And the next panel says, I can,
but
as there's a big crack sound effect.
I was taken up in the story, I guess, and I did not.
Yeah.
I remember that now.
The Dr. Fry snaps his neck or
and
whatever,
Hulk comes out.
And he dies and the Hulk comes out. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
In any case, sorry. I think this is playing with those ideas of death in a really, really cool way. How this guy was afraid to die, and he's afraid for his son to die and get hurt, and how that drove him to research gamma radiation, and how it went totally wrong again, but in a different way because he, misdid it. He's tortured from this, from killing his son. He tries to cover it up, but then in covering it up, he buries his son basically alive and conscious. The same way that he's now tortured because the Hulk snaps his arms and legs off and he's just not able to move. Oh, God. And I just think the horror in this was done really, really well. I love the dread, and I love just the turns it takes. I don't know.
Yeah. So, I love horror. I'm not against stories being dark. What am I supposed to take away from this? I don't understand, because, okay, so the idea that I thought this series was running with was that, like, the Hulk is this personification of Bruce Banner's, like, secret dark desires. And so the Hulk, like, wants to kill people who have done bad things. And he finds this man who, like, yes, he made mistakes. He fucked up pretty badly, but he did it for intentions that weren't evil. He did it he thought he was doing it to protect his son. And, like, yeah, again, like, not a good move to inject your son with radiation or whatever, but he thought it would work, and he thought it would benefit his son. And the Hulk, like, snaps his limbs off and buries him underground so he'll live there forever in pain. And it would be one thing if, like, the idea was, like, that, like, this is the dark parts of Bruce Banner, that, like, he's doing this thing and it's wrong to, like, torture this man for doing what he thought was right. And Bruce Banner, like, resisted that, like he normally resists the Hulk. But Bruce Banner literally, earlier in the issue, like, Bruce Banner spends his entire issue as himself, like, investigating this so that the Hulk can do this. Bruce Banner is on board for whatever the fuck the Hulk is going to do, and, like, calls it, what the Hulk does, justice at one point. He literally uses the word justice.
I think what this is...
It's so nihilistic, and, like, it's just dark just to be dark. And I don't understand what not everything has to have a moral, but, like, it's so anti-moral that, like, I don't fucking know... I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from this story.
But don't you, like, think that,
like, people shouldn't take risks to, like, help others? Like, and they should be tortured forever? Like, I don't know what the point of this is.
Yeah, but he's using... I think one of the main things in this is that Bruce Banner is very, very sensitive also to the use of gamma radiation in any sense of the word to make anything better or stronger, because it's tortured him for so long. So... I think that Bruce Banner sees it as very selfish that, you know, when he first comes to see this guy and he starts getting an idea of what's going on, I think both Hulk and Bruce Banner sees this as very selfish for him to have tried to harness it, and then to, you know, it always goes wrong in his mind. It always goes wrong. So the idea that he forced it on his son without telling him, and for a reason that he didn't really have to. It's not like he was injured, his son. He was trying to protect him, but people can do bad things in protection of their children. It happens all the time. And I think this was a bad thing. Like, in his mind, at least, because he's very sensitive.
But worth ripping this man's arms off and trapping him in a cave forever?
He's killed a lot of other people. You know that, right?
I get that. I don't know. It just feels like it's just fucking like, isn't it dark that this man accidentally killed his son? And isn't it dark that the Hulk, like, gave him a fate worse than death? And, like, I don't buy the, like,
Okay.
the Hulk knows that this gamma radiation shit always goes wrong, but this man didn't. And he told his son what was going on. Like, he literally, like, it's not like he injected him in his sleep.
No, he knew he was being injected, but not with what. But also,
It's a giant glowing syringe.
see, what I see this as is, I think the Hulk is giving him kind of what he wants. He said that he doesn't want to be found, right? At the beginning. And he's been killing everybody that's coming up to find him. So now he's trapped. He's not going to be found, and he's trapped behind rocks now. So he gave him what he wants.
He's not happy about that.
So of course he's not. But he's
screaming and pleading.
killed many, many people to keep this, and at least this way he doesn't have to kill people to do it.
Look, I'm not saying this guy's a good guy. I'm saying I don't understand what the takeaway morally from this is. Like, I don't think
this is about the morals of Bruce Banner. I don't know if it's about his.
Then what
growth.
is it about?
I think it's about,
because I think it's purposefully
story.
anti. What? I fucking think this, like, he is going to get killed in every single issue, and this is a stupid quibble, but I think that's stupid. Like, I think that's stupid. If literally the premise, like, that's taking the title too far. Like, he doesn't need to get murdered every issue for the Hulk to come out. Like, he didn't get murdered for years. Like, I get it. They're going off an idea that, like, the Hulk has died a lot and it's never taken, but also that's literally every other superhero character. And, like, I think it's a stupid coincidence that he's going to happen to die in every issue and come back as the Hulk.
I mean, okay.
Get that.
Okay.
I know. I said that's dumb, but also I just think that's. I don't see the point of this. That's just all I really have to say about it. I don't like.
What's the point
of? I think it's.
Go ahead.
Like, pointlessly edgy in a way that really rubs me the wrong way. And
what about Ice Cream
I don't
Man?
Really care to keep reading it. What?
What about Ice Cream Man?
Ice Cream Man, I don't know. Ice Cream Man is... But he's not the good guy there. Like, this story is positing Bruce Banner and the Hulk as being on the same side here, and Bruce Banner literally believes this is justice. And I don't think the Ice Cream Man in Ice Cream Man is being portrayed as the hero of that story. Like, he is doing fucked up things to people, and the story is aware of that. And I don't think that this story is aware that, like, and, like, pointing out that, like, the Hulk is doing some bad shit. And yes, this guy, he's not a good guy. He made a horrible mistake, and he's continuing to make horrible mistakes in killing these other people. But, like, I don't know.
Also, we don't see Bruce Banner on board with the whole breaking off the limbs thing.
No, we definitely do. He talks about it specifically early on in the issue. He's investigating this thing so the Hulk can come out and help. He says, ways to use ... him ... to bring a measure of justice into this world.
But he says that at the point...
for my sins.
He says that when he doesn't know really what's going on yet, though.
And then, he sees what's going on and then pushes further to investigate it so he can use the Hulk. That's the implication here. He's investigating this whole thing so he can use the Hulk to bring a, quote, measure of justice to this world.
I guess I can see what you're saying. I guess it just doesn't bother me as much.
I think it's just pointlessly nihilistic. I don't... Like, it's just dark to be dark.
I just like the story. I thought it was a really good story. It made some good
I think the
twists.
story is clever, and I don't agree with it from, like, a really, like, a tonal standpoint.
A thematic standpoint.
Whatever, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Anyways.
You're entitled... I think we should disagree more. I think it's fun.
I'm not saying we can't disagree. I just, I don't want to... I always feel uncomfortable, like, talking shit about books too much because I want to talk about the stuff that we like. But I do find it interesting that kind of, I don't know, the divide we have on this book.
Okay.
I may or may not pick up the next issue. We'll see.
If you want, I can read it first and I can tell you. Like, that's fine with me.
But also, you seem to, like, you're just not on the same page with me.
But now that I'm aware of what you don't like about it, I can be aware of, like, if this is kind of breaking from that form.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll let you tell me. I'm just not sold.
Okay. Okay,
anyway,
moving on.
That was a big old tangent. My cover of the week, also by Alex Ross.
Mm-hmm.
It almost feels like a little bit of a cop-out to do another Alex Ross cover. I thought about it for a bit, and I was like, should I highlight someone else? But I was just like I was going to pick the Immortal Hulk if you didn't. I knew you were going to pick this because we talked about it the other week. But, I just, there's no other... I was maybe going to do Death of the Inhumans, but, I just couldn't not do this Cap cover if we were already doing Hulk.
Yeah.
It's so goddamn good. I linked you to the image. I know you didn't pick up the issue.
I have it right here,
but,
yeah. It's really...
Yeah, so it's a double... It's a... What the fuck is the... I know there's a term for this, but it's a
fold-out kind of thing.
Fold-out cover, I guess. Its front and back are one image if you, open up the book and lay it flat. So it's basically a double wide illustration. And it's Alex Ross art, and it's just a big tableau of Captain America in this big naval fight scene, his head floating in the sky. And then there's just Captain America fighting all of a bunch of his classic villains, and it's just this really classic feeling illustration of all the stuff that makes Captain America.
There's such a sense of, when you're looking at this, there's such a sense of stature. And
yes.
I feel like I'm looking at a historical painting that someone painted back in the day to talk about Captain America in the 40s.
Yeah.
You know?
As if this is to memorialize him or something, you know, like
a military tribute.
Yeah. And I really like how he paints Cap on the front cover, the ghost image of him in the sky.
Yeah.
You don't see this super often, but he painted him he looks older.
Yeah.
He's got wrinkles around his eyes, and his skin's a little mottled, and he's got creases in his skin.
Honestly,
in a way
his costume looks a little bit more like a Batman sort of thing.
Yeah, Alex Ross oftentimes, in a lot of his stuff, he gives the costumes a very, fabric-y, physical feel.
Yeah.
In a way that you only really, paint can. And I just, yeah, I like it. Again, it feels just the slightest bit of a cop-out, but, sure, yeah, let's take a week and just, really talk about, what makes Alex Ross covers specifically awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it has this feeling of, this feels fucking real. You know, this feels we're memorializing some real hero from World War II or whatever.
Yeah.
And just, seeing all of these characters from Captain America's past. We've got, Falcon and Bucky and Namor and the original Human Torch here, because they were on a team called the Invaders. I feel like I've explained that on a previous episode. But yeah, it's just it feels like a really classic image of Captain America. And I feel like that's something that he manages to capture. I'm always tempted to put Alex Ross covers as my cover of the week, because every fucking thing he does, for his cover work, feels like it should be this classic timeless image that everyone's always going to remember of these characters. He just manages to do it every time.
Yeah.
And he's just he's without peer in that regard.
Mm-hmm. Has he been around a long time, Alex Ross?
Yeah. He mostly does cover work. He just does a lot of just painted art of comic book characters as well. But if you ever want to read a book that is literally just all of the interior is painted Alex Ross art like this, the one to read is Kingdom Come. I feel like I've talked about it on a previous episode.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard of that.
It's an alternate world DC or alternate future DC story. They're all of the DC characters have gotten old. There's a new generation of DC heroes, and they kind of come to butt heads a little bit. And Alex Ross paints all of the interior art, every panel of that book. There's a few other books he's done like that, but that one's the standout. Written by Mark Waid. It's a really, really great DC alternate universe book. Highly recommend that.
Okay, I'm totally down. It sounds awesome.
If you like this art,
yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that one's definitely my if not the Immortal Hulk, this one is definitely also my favorite. They're probably neck and neck for me.
Yeah.
Those two covers are fantastic. Alex Ross is an absolute treasure.
Mm-hmm. I would love to watch. Do a lot of these artists have, I guess, Instagrams and stuff like that to follow?
I'm sure.
I really think it's the only reason I would want to go on Instagram.
You can. Yeah, I'm sure Alex Ross has put process videos up for him doing paintings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's look at it. Okay. Doug, let's talk about some books that we gotta talk about. Start with yours. How about? Let's do it. Cool. One second, I have to scroll down again. I got all scrolled up.
Got all scrolled up?
Oh, yes.
Got all scrolled up? Are you a scroll?
Shut up. Also, wait, I had a question about the scrolls and what was the book where shape-shifting thing happened? What was it? Was it Death in the Inhumans? Or
I don't know.
Where?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What book did shapeshifters show up this week?
I mean, I think they briefly talked about the Skrulls maybe in Death of the Inhumans because the Kree. I don't recall any other shape.
I thought someone said I thought I read something where they said that Chitauri were shapeshifting or something like that, and it was really weird. Oh no, it was in the Ultimates. They said something other than the Skrulls were shapeshifters.
That the Skrulls and the Chitauri in the Ultimate Universe are the same thing. They throw out at one point. The Chitauri are the renamed Skrulls for the Ultimate Universe. They are treating them theoretically, assuming the Skrulls are going to show up in the Marvel movies at some point. They're treating them as a separate thing in the movies. But they throw out in, I believe, that first issue of Ultimates, he says a bunch of alternate names for them. They were we're called this or this or this.
Okay, yeah, I think I do vaguely remember that.
And he throws out the name Skrulls.
I was just really confused for a second.
But they generally in that story call them the Chitauri. Okay. So they're the Skrulls in Ultimates. They just call them the Chitauri.
Good to know.
Yep.
Good to know. Okay, in any case, Doug, tell me, because I agree with. I'm really glad that we had a similar thing with this. Tell me about Death or Glory.
Yeah, so this is Death or Glory, which is on the third issue right now, which is the issue we're going to talk about, written by Rick Remender, artist Bengal. And this is kind of unusually for Rick Remender. There's no really genre hook in this. It's just in terms of a sci-fi or fantasy genre hook. It's just a crime book.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that going into it. For some reason, I thought there was some sort of sci-fi twist or something to it. And it felt a little bit deflating going into it just because I like sci-fi shit. And so I wasn't quite prepared for what this book was. And it took me an issue or two to kind of get on board with just that. But then it's kind of taken a little bit for the story to kind of get going a little bit. There's been action and stuff, but it just felt like we were just kind of, I don't know, we're following this main character, Glory Owen?
Yeah.
And she's just kind of gotten herself mixed up in a bunch of shit, but I didn't really quite feel all that much of an attachment to the character yet.
Yeah.
And this issue gives us kind of the best of both worlds in that the first third of this issue, maybe half.
I think half,
is just like all her backstory, and it's like it's just really well done. Like it can feel like too much, this kind of info dump on a character like this, but like the story is just so well portrayed, and it's not like, it doesn't feel cliche in any way.
No,
like I feel like I don't really like recognize a lot of tropes in this. Like, so like it was just interesting all the way through, like seeing her youth and growing up with her parents who like live this like free life on the road. I guess that's a trope, but like, but like the things that led them there, and like how they talk about them raising her on the road and all of that. It's just all super interesting, and something I feel like I haven't seen before. And I feel like we both felt like we talked about this a little bit off air. We felt like we came away like knowing this character like quite a bit more after this, and she's so much more interesting now.
It was much, like you said, like it was much needed backstory. Like we didn't really have a hook into anything at the beginning. Like, but I think this was the good time to put it in, because I feel like this issue, like, I don't know, the backstory felt like it belonged with the action that happened at the end.
Yes,
for some reason, and it seemed like Rick Remender is so good at pacing, and I should have known that it was going to be great, and nonetheless, but like the first two issues, like they were good. I just, but this one just like, the backstory was so well done. Like when I first opened it, I was like, oh shit, I hope this is good. Yeah. Because that's going to be a lot of... Go ahead.
Yeah, Rick Remender is so good at doing both the really touching character stuff and really attaching you to his characters, and doing big bombastic, like, breakneck action. And the series has felt, up till now, like, kind of, like, just mostly the action.
Middling kind of thing, too.
Yeah, and we're doing some character stuff, but we weren't delving deep into the character. And this issue gave us both a deep dive into the character and, like, a big, exciting, thrilling, kind of, almost heist sequence.
Yes.
In the latter half of the issue. And things are starting to kind of come together. This, I don't know if he's a hitman or what he is, but this dude with the, like,
the frozen stuff,
frozen nitrogen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the liquid nitrogen gun or whatever it is, where he, like, freezes people and then shatters them. He's, which is almost feels out of place because it's so ridiculous in a book that's otherwise fairly grounded in terms of, like, reality.
Yeah.
Even if it's a bit, all of it's a little bit kind of, more than real, but like,
well, reality in the sense of like No Country for Old Men.
Yeah. Like we're like, like there aren't like aliens or shit or anything. It feels fairly like scientifically grounded. And then this guy's running around with this like frozen nitrogen gun. But anyways, I love that about it, because he feels like he's like this weird, like, outlier of a character. And when they run into him in this, because the main characters haven't run into him yet, it feels like this big shocking moment. Yeah. I really like him and his deal, and pairing like the stuff that makes Rick Remender stuff oftentimes work so well is the way he pairs or juxtaposes the character work with the action stuff in this issue did. Specifically, exactly that in sequence. It gave you all that great character work, and then gave you a sequence in which that backstory, like, has given you the emotional tie you need to be fully invested in this big thrilling action sequence.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know, like, how much, like, specifics I have to say about, like, what, like, went on, but, like, this issue put us in such a good place to have us be drawn into the character, to be, like, excited about what's currently going on, the world that he's built at this point in 3 issues. And I'm super excited for this to continue. Do you know how long this is supposed to go?
I don't know. I can't imagine this series is going to go, like, for a long time.
Yeah.
This feels like a 12-issue book or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm sure it has an end in sight.
Yeah.
This feels like it has the story of Glory Owen, like dealing with all of this crime shit and getting her dad a new. He needs a heart or liver or what was the organ he needs? Anyways,
Liver.
Liver. And she'll either get that or won't, and we'll resolve all this crime stuff, and then we'll wrap up.
How drawn do you feel like to this art? I feel like I really like the art, but it's not like I'm crazy about it.
Yeah, I really like it in spots, and then sometimes when it slows down and it gets a little goofier, I feel like I kind of lose it a little bit.
Yeah.
It gets a little anime-y at points, which I'm sure some people love, and I'm not a huge fan. That's the specific parts of anime that, like, I don't know why it is, because it's not, like, normally an anime style in this, and I don't think this artist is, like, aping anime or anything.
Honestly, I think it's specifically the look of the liquid nitrogen guy and the look of Glory in a lot of places. Her face is drawn very anime-like.
It's whenever the story gets like a little comedy beat. Like, yeah. Sometimes they start to look like a little bit kind of like the jokier moments in anime, and I don't know if that's intentional or not, or if it's just like a similar thing they're doing that I don't quite like. But in general, I really like the art in this. I think it's a really good fit for Rick Remender's style of storytelling. It does action sequences very well, I think.
Yeah. Well, very cool. Let's talk a little bit then about... Oh no, I got the wrong book out. Where is it? Oh, Death of the Inhumans. That's my book I gotta talk about.
Oof.
That's a whole thing. So
this is the thing.
What I really wanted to talk about here, first of all, yes, the cover is really, really great. Yeah. But what I really wanted to talk about was that I asked you, like, why do you think everyone is so divisive on this? And I thought it was just like an alternate future sort of thing that you don't really have to worry about the current continuity with. So why wouldn't people just like accept it for what it is?
Well, it's not, though.
So it is current continuity?
I don't think there's anything in here to indicate that this is not in continuity.
Well, it says it's Arctillan or something, not Attilan.
I think that's where they are right now, aren't they?
They're not in Attilan?
It sounds like this is like at some point they have moved, because I think there's an Inhuman series going on right now, so I assume this is some kind of development that's come out of that. Normally, yes, or historically, they have lived in a place called Attilan, but it sounds like they're currently living in a place called Arctillan. Like everything else in this looks like current continuity to me. Like the character designs are how they currently look. Like there's nothing in this that says it's like 10 years in the future or something.
Okay, then that's fucking crazy.
As far as I can tell, I'm pretty sure that the things in this book are happening currently, which is what's kind of nuts about it. Yeah,
people basically just don't, like, are very taken aback by how flippant they are with deaths right here.
I think that's the issue, and that people are having with it. This one's been very divisive because, this book's called Death of the Inhumans, and boy, are they making good on that.
Yeah, spoilers, they kill off, Medusa?
They don't kill Medusa in this issue, but she is, like, gravely injured.
Yeah.
I don't think she's dead at the end.
Okay, then at least Lockjaw and Maximus are goners.
Yeah.
Along with the 4 people, like, on the council thing or something.
Which is a thing that I was surprised I don't know if that's a thing that has been a recent thing for them, but that was a development that I have been reading about in Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four. That's something from that.
Oh.
Where they assemble this kind of intergalactic council of all of the Inhumans from different planets. And they're all of Black Bolt's queens, these other weird-looking Inhumans.
Huh. Interesting. I'm glad I know.
Unceremoniously murdered in this issue.
Seriously. Yeah, I'm glad I know this, though, because, like, I guess, I didn't have that information. Because, like, how it is, like, the story and how it works, it feels like an alternate future sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, well, it feels like that specifically in the sense that, like, they're just killing these characters. Like, unceremoniously, they just die.
Yeah.
Like, there's really like, Gorgon dies in a twist in a scene. Like, he's or Gorgon, am I thinking of the right one? Is that his name? Gorgon?
Is that the one that gets the axe
No,
to the chest?
not Gorgon. Shit. What is his name?
I don't know.
He's the fish-looking man.
Oh.
I
don't know, man.
Not sure.
You're asking the wrong
anyways,
person.
he's the fish-looking guy, and he dies because they walk into a room, and he's like, "Oh, it's a bomb!" And then everyone teleports out, and he's just dead.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, he was too close.
Like, yeah, I know. I'm not saying like I'm surprised he died. I'm just like, yeah, like they're going for it in this, and yeah.
So do you think people are mad at like is Marvel trying to kill Inhumans for a reason, or
I don't know. Part of me wonders about that. Like, is there an editorial, like, some sort of reason why they want to kind of clean the slate for the Inhumans? I don't know, because the Inhumans have been a weird property for them for a while.
Yeah.
In how they've been using them. And I don't know. Or did Donny Cates just, like... like, is this all him? Or did they just come to him because they thought he could do this well? I don't know. I don't know from where this story idea started.
Mm-hmm.
But, like...
But, I mean, divisive or not, shit is written like a motherfucker. Like,
yeah.
Goddamn Donny Cates.
I mean, like, if you can divorce yourself from, like, all the other continuity stuff around this, like, this is a hell of an issue.
Yeah.
Like, this is a hell of a story. And yeah, I'm a real big fan of it. Why don't you, can you tell the folks kind of what the plot here is, the hook,
the folks at
idea.
home. Let me tell you. So basically, the Kree made the Inhumans. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The Kree made the Inhumans, and I mean, basically now the Kree don't want the Inhumans anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So they have these meta super Inhumans that are like, I guess, going to be refined versions of the Inhumans, like more pointed versions, I guess, specifically in this sense. And then in this issue,
more directly controlled, specifically, that they can, like, they
yes,
only do what they ask them to do, and they basically don't have free will.
Well, and they're more powerful, seemingly.
Yes.
Especially in the sense of this big bad in this one named Vox, which is a very clever name. I really liked the design of this character, but this character has, you know, regular, really powerful shit, but I think is really interesting that he has directed voice blast, which is like...
I wasn't entirely sure if that was what it was supposed to be. They talk about directing the voice blast, but that's also because they're leading into a scene we'll talk about in just a minute.
Okay.
But it looks like a laser, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. And also, he's talking the whole time before that.
Well, that's why I think he can control it. That's like, he can control that part of his power. That's what's refined about him, I think.
I guess. Yeah. Maybe.
But I don't know. I really like the design of this character also. He's this like, he's not even that interesting looking. I don't know why, but he has this, you know, fur kind of cape thing on the back of him. He has this grill on his mouth and then is it an upside down Black Bolt logo?
Kind of. It's like it's like the dark inverse of the Black Bolt thing on his head. The little two-pronged thing. So, it's upside down and a pointy.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that's the general thing about this, and they're just going around, like, Black Bolt and company are going around, and they find a lot of people dead. They tell them the story of what's going on with this dude, Vox, and then more people die, and then they see Vox again, and then more people die. It's just, I don't know. I can see why some people might think this is just, like, flippant sort of, like, we're just going to kill a bunch of people and just whatever. But it's just like the moments in this and the beats that they use and the kind of terror of the people that are surviving and the characters and how they interact with these sorts of problems is just done so well. Like, it's, yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Yeah, I think the deaths are used even if they feel like you don't see them coming, like they feel like they're used to good dramatic effect. Like this whole story is about like in large part like Black Bolt, like how does he react to this, and how does he feel in a situation in which he feels like he's lost control of it, you know?
Yeah.
Like this stuff is happening to him, and how can he rule like when he feels like he can't prevent the deaths of his family, basically, you know?
Well, his kingdom.
Yeah, his subjects, his and it's I am concerned that like in the long run, like we're just going to have lost these characters, like, and it's just gonna feel like it was kind of like a pointless loss. But if the story keeps on this bar, like if we get something really good out of like the pain of Black Bolt through this, being put through this ringer, I have a bad feeling that they're going to kill Black Bolt in this series. In which case, then I don't really know what this was. But if like Black Bolt comes out the other side and is changed, and this has like become a pivotal moment for him, I think this is a perfectly like I think this is a really strong story that could become like something really important for him. Yes, at the expense of all these other characters, but you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, I saw some theories online that Lockjaw and Maximus aren't actually dead.
Well,
specifically because if you look at the energy that Vox is shooting at them and how it's illustrated.
Oh, you think they're
and
teleported?
Then you look at the page directly before it, the effect that they show around Lockjaw's teleportation, and then look at the page after it. If you look at that page, that last page with Lockjaw and Maximus, where it looks like they're dying, and then the page directly before it.
I see.
And it's this circular, bubbly-looking energy, and it feels like they're drawn very purposefully similar. Now, also, I don't know. It's hard to tell. But
I feel
it
like
does
it kind of
look
looks like his
visually very
lasers
similar.
are going through the bubbles, though.
Yeah,
maybe that's the idea.
It's confusing looking, but also maybe he's teleporting part of them, and that's what's killing them. I don't know, because it doesn't look like they're just disappearing. There are like holes in them. But also, if you look at earlier in the book, he's shot that energy at Maximus earlier and got rid of his arm, and he's got that crackly circle energy on his arm, and it does look like he has just like teleported his arm away, but he still lost his arm, you know, so maybe they still are dead.
Yeah.
This has just blown a hole in them using teleportation because he's harnessing all of the Inhumans' different powers, you know? I don't know.
We'll have to see. I'm interested. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Do you wanna go into what your panel of the week is? Because
this is my.
So
I have to, on the heels of me making a stink last week about us not being specific enough about specific panels. I went ahead and picked a sequence because I'm above the rules apparently. No, the rules allow for this.
They do.
As I said last
You're
week
right.
to you. So my favorite sequence this week in a book was just like nothing else held a candle to this fucking sequence. I don't know if this is a thing that's existed before. As far as I know, I've never heard of this. But so the Inhumans are in a ship, and Black Bolt, who has this power of like, if he speaks, it creates this enormous shockwave, you know, so this big propelling force out of his mouth that can like level cities. And in their ship, he's sitting in this chair, the special chair that he's walked to in the ship, and they do this big zoom out to show that he's like in this open air chamber, kind of or I don't know if it's open air, but like it's like this weird tunnel in the ship.
Yeah,
and then we get a zoom in on his face, and he says very quiet, very tiny little word bubble. He says the word "go," which is always one of my favorite things with Black Bolt. Is like when he does speak, they usually make it so like he's whispering.
Yeah.
And yet it like creates this giant shockwave or whatever. And then that lights up all of the like energy, the like, or it lights up that tunnel on the back of the ship and blasts them like into hyperspace, like to light speed. Yeah. They're using Black Bolt. Black Bolt has strapped himself into this chair in the ship to use him as an engine. As like their light speed engine. And that's so fucking cool.
I love it. It's so fucking great.
love it.
I hope, like, I don't know. We should look this up to see if it has been used before, because it's so...
I don't know what to look up. How do you look this up?
Black Bolt as energy sword. I don't know. I'm sure they must have been done it.
I don't know. No, this feels new to me. Like, this feels like a big reveal. This whole... Like, it's a long sequence.
It really is. No, yeah, I know.
Like, I feel like it has to be new.
I guess so, because he does tell her, like, get ready for the jump, and they're very, like, I don't know, off about them not saying specifics about it. And she's like, oh god, and we're supposed to feel like...
It feels like it's a big
happen.
reveal.
Yeah, no, I can see that. And it's just done so well. The pacing of it is so... God, I love Donny Cates.
Yeah, you don't know what he's... like, I'm talking about a specific sequence on a page where it just has the, like... the slow build and the reveal.
Yeah.
But there's like pages before that where we're like, what the fuck is he talking about? What is he doing?
Yeah.
He walks to this chair and he straps himself into it and he like, I guess, picks where to direct the energy.
It's
or
like
something.
a rudder,
he's,
it looks like,
I think. But he's got a little computer interface and he's like selecting something on it. So I assume he's like, directing where, the tube is facing maybe, so he can point them in the right direction. I don't know. But like, like the slow reveal of what exactly he's doing is so well done.
Yeah.
And Donny Cates is just like, I hope we haven't mentioned the creative team on this. It's written by Donny Cates, art by Ariel Olivetti, who fucking kills it. This art is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And like the slow reveal of that is just like, Donny Cates is so good at like cleverly using characters in powers in new, interesting ways.
Mm-hmm.
That's continually something that's great about his books, and this is a great example of that.
Yeah, agreed. Completely agreed. Well, mine is different. Mine is a panel or a page splash, and it is in Justice League number 3, which, by the way, I liked Justice League before this. This is an issue that really got me into it too. Like, the number 3s this week really just made me into the issues, into the stories. This was a great issue. But my panel is just because it's drawn like a motherfucker, and I love it. And it's based off of a prediction that I had last issue, when I said, well, we don't see Joker in the Legion of Doom thing, so he must be somewhere. He's got to be inside someone, I thought. So the big reveal here is we have Joker. It gets revealed that Joker is inside of Hawkgirl's pod, which is inside Martian Manhunter. And it's this image, and the words add to it. The words are, the monster lurking deep inside, waiting to pounce. He almost has to laugh, but not yet. And it's Joker, looking at his creepy Joker self with his finger to his mouth, like the shushing thing, in like a red sort of, with a red light illuminating him, so it looks very sinister, with Hawkgirl right at the center, zoom in of her, and he's like behind her wings, right in between them. And I guess he has a chainsaw, which is already bloody.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing with the chainsaw before this. But he has brought a chainsaw with him. Jesus.
But I love this. I love how it's drawn. I love the Joker image is just so creepy. But as I say this also, I want to make note of something that I have a problem with after looking at this page too long.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Did you look at the reflection in the chainsaw?
Oh, is it just a reversed image of the drawing? Or no, it's not even reversed.
It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It is reversed. It is reversed. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah,
It makes zero sense.
They use the same line, or it should be reflecting Hawk Girl or her wing.
It shouldn't reflect anything, really. Like, we shouldn't even be able to tell. Like, I get that it's creepy, but it doesn't make any sense at all.
No, the angle of that doesn't really make sense, but whatever.
But I love
the image as a whole is so good.
Yes, the image, the contrast between Hawkgirl staring front focused and everything, and Joker trying not to laugh because he thinks this is fucking hilarious, and I love that. Just with this red overtone and this chainsaw, and he's just so sinister looking. Like, I don't have as much to say about this one as you did about the last one, but it's just, I love this image just as an image, you know?
It's really, really good. It's fucking creepy as shit.
Yeah.
Like, this, like, God, what is this? This is Jorge Jimenez.
Yeah.
He draws the shit out of this. It's detailed in just the right parts, and your focus is instantly drawn to Joker here. The lighting is like really good. He's got this like really strong under lighting under his face.
Yeah.
My one question about this is he looks so. This is such an incredibly different look for Joker from the established one in the first issue.
Yeah, do you remember when I was saying that I didn't like it as much? I like this one better, but yes, it's very, very different, very weird.
I don't know. I like dapper, suave Joker. This one is definitely scarier.
Yeah.
And I think it really works for this panel. It just is a little confusing that they went in such drastically different directions.
I'm going to go ahead and say
the look.
I'm going to go ahead and say that he wasn't able to keep himself looking good after going into a body and attaching to her pod or something. Like, they say here that he had to like attach to her pod and get in without like her knowing and everything, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, whatever.
He's just been fucking in there the whole time, like Jesus.
Yeah.
God. Joker.
Waiting to pounce.
Terrifying.
Really terrifying. Love it. Big fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. Oh, I have an honorable mention though.
Sure,
and it comes for our new. It comes as part of our new series roundup. Good okay. Little section here. Let's say that we were talking about Cosmic Ghost Rider. Where did I put it though? Oh, I have it right here. Cosmic Ghost Rider. My honorable mention. Spoilers for this series. Is the last page. Cosmic Ghost Rider with baby Thanos riding on his motorcycle.
Oh, yeah. I considered that one. Yep.
Oh, I love it. I fucking love it. It's just so funny. The reveal. He's like holding on the chains like, oh, let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, he's so excited. That is the fucking greatest, like, twist, like, at the end. Like, yeah, like, you think the whole time that Frank Castle, the Cosmic Ghost Rider of this alternate future timeline thing, is going to go back and kill Thanos as a baby to spare all these people and himself and whatever. And he can't do it. And he's like, no, you know what? I'm going to try to teach him to be good. And then he drives off with him in like a chain. What is that fucking thing called?
Oh, it's
a baby
like a front
Bjorn.
Backpack. No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's a baby Bjorn.
Oh, baby Bjorn. It's like a kangaroo pouch.
Yeah, guy. You know, like he's got him in a chain version of one of those on his chest, and it's so fucking funny. And the baby's so fucking pumped.
Oh yeah, he's just like
baby
all
Thanos.
For it. It's a great reveal, and the image is just so funny up by itself. Like a reveal for the rest of the series, I guess. I wonder if this is just going to be him and baby Thanos going around.
I think this as the cliffhanger of the first issue. I feel like this kind of has to be. This is the setup for what this book is going to be. Also, I found out they don't say on the cover, but I think I saw somewhere that this is going to be a limited series. This is like a 6-issue thing or something.
I mean, that makes sense.
They don't say anywhere, but anyways.
Okay. Yeah, that was my honorable mention for sure. But this book, like, talk about a different side of Donny Cates and showing off his fucking, his range. Like, it's just, I mean, this book specifically has a lot of range because it goes from, brooding, what is it? Brooding. I don't want to say the name out loud because I don't want anyone to hear me because Samantha's reading Thanos next.
Oh.
So we go from brooding character. You can say the name.
Frank Castle. You can just say Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Brooding Cosmic Ghost Rider. Okay, that's a good idea. Good job. In Valhalla, which I think is really funny that he's so unhappy in Valhalla, which is totally in character. And then becoming, the Cosmic Ghost Rider and Send Me to Titan. It's just, I'm so happy that this series exists after Thanos. It's such a nice step in a direction that I love.
Yeah, because it's Thanos was such a dark, dramatic, big, epic story, and this feels much more tonally similar to his Doctor Strange run, which was a bit more kind of tongue in cheek, and I think he does that. And Cosmic Ghost Rider was the one bit of Thanos, his run on Thanos, that was kind of that, in that he's this crazy, unhinged kind of character, this book is much more in that vein, in that it's a dark comedy kind of, but it's mixed with all this crazy bombast. I really like this first issue. I mean, I was already kind of sold on the character after Thanos. Yeah, I was a little bit worried that it was going to be too much of a good thing.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be treated as a Deadpool-y kind of thing, but I'm glad they didn't go that direction.
But yeah, there's just enough restraint in this. He feels almost just that little bit more sane in this book, because yes, it would have been too much if they had just made a book that was exactly how he was in Thanos. Mm-hmm.
Well, Odin said himself that he was going to do his best to try and mitigate the change, but he can't do so much. So I think that was a specific writing, choice that he made that was a great choice. So,
I think it's a really smart choice if he's going to be the protagonist of this book. And I just fucking continually, we just talked about Donny Cates, but his fucking willingness and clear interest in just mashing up shit in the Marvel Universe in a way that nobody else really does. Yeah. People a lot of the time try to keep them all in their own kind of little corners. Yeah. And Donny Cates is just no, fuck it. These people are all in a universe together. Let's just throw shit together in a blender and make new, cool, he just comes up with the craziest new uses for all these characters to be get together. This is a future Frank Castle who has become Ghost Rider, who is in Valhalla talking to Odin, and he goes to Thanos on it's just all over the place in these cool new ways that you haven't seen before. Mm-hmm. And I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, completely. Super excited. And then let's for other new book roundup. Okay, give me a word on Project Superpowers. What is it? What publisher is it?
This is Dynamite. They've been doing, this is a book that they've been doing for a while. We talked about Alex Ross earlier. He was on the writing side, a writer on the first 2 volumes of this. This is a new volume, theoretically a whole new jumping on point. And I don't really know anything about these characters other than some of their names and designs. I think these are characters that, I don't know if Dynamite has the rights to these characters or if they're just really old characters that have fallen into the public domain or what. But they're just, it's a smattering of random, kind of pulp, superhero characters. They're all very 30s, 40s, golden age feeling. Okay. And there's, this character, I guess you don't have the cover, but, characters this character, the death-defying devil, and there's one called the Black Terror, who has a big, skull and crossbones on his chest and a red cape. And it's very pulpy feeling. And this is just kind of a teaser for what this new series is going to be. It's written by Rob Williams, who I think is sometimes fairly hit or miss. But I've liked some of his stuff. He did a Martian Manhunter run that was really good up until the end.
Well, he was great in Mrs. Doubtfire, too.
Did I say Robin Williams?
No, you said Rob Williams. I'm just a terrible person because I also forgot that he's not with us anymore.
I wonder if his name is Robin. Interesting. Yeah, Robin Williams wrote this from the grave. That's sad. I don't want to. Why did I say that?
Yeah, why did you say that?
Oh boy. It's just kind of a teaser for what this book is going to be. I think it's just interesting enough that I'll probably pick up the first issue. It didn't like blow me away or anything, but I'm always on board to like. I've been feeling a lot of frustration lately about like the lack of willingness to let characters grow and change in the big two, and so like I'm interested to right now specifically to reach out and see like is there other superhero stuff elsewhere.
Okay.
That's at least different. If like I don't know, they probably suffer from the same issues, but like at least it's not the same shit I'm reading.
Yeah.
It's at least different in that way. I think it's interesting.
Nice.
It's cool. Yeah, and it was just 10 cents, so I figured fuck it, why not?
Why not? Let's talk about also Quantum Age was my other big one that I really wanted to talk a little bit about cuz it's just
it's not what I was expecting.
Not at all.
Yeah. No.
But he's just so fucking Jeff Lemire is so good at writing.
That's good because that's what he does. Or one of the things he does.
We got in this story we're following Trevs because in Black Hammer universe is a descendant of the Martians. Mark Marks is right.
He does call him out as an ancestor. So yeah, he's a descendant of Barbalian from the regular Black Hammer series.
So we're in this dystopian future with Trevs, and like he's like going around trying to find this information, and like I don't even remember at this point now. Like he like has enough power to get them off his trail for one scam, but then they're like, no, do it again. So they're against Martians in this.
Martians have apparently, I don't think they're outlawed. It just seems like they're like
controlled.
Yeah, they're under like a curfew, and like they're not maybe like given all the rights they should maybe have or whatever. They're being regulated in some way.
And then we have another story of Archie V, who is a guy with a big old brain.
I think it's Archive. I think it's Archive 5.
Oh, Archive 5. I did not read that right. Yeah, that's right. And him and Hammerlass are getting it on, which is great. Love it. It's just, I don't know why I know why I like this book so much, but it's just such a great first issue to introduce you to the whole situation, to all the moving parts, and it also has, like, stuff. Oh, I guess it's going from back and forth. 25 years later, 25 years before, stuff like that with the Martians are coming, and I guess something happens with the Martians came. What else, though? Do they, like, do something?
I just think this book is really cool because it's like it's operating in those two timelines. I thought this was just going to be a book about like the kid superhero team in the future, and like that's part of it, but that's the flashback stuff.
Yeah,
and like the current timeline stuff, it's 25 years later, and we're dealing with like the fallout of like this horrible like war with the Martians or something to do with the Martians,
something that happened.
Yeah,
it's kind of in the same vein in that sense of Black Hammer. Like, it's after the fact of, like, when they were all good, going back and forth, so...
But I think what's maybe interesting about that is, like, this series seems to be, like, leaning even a little bit... I guess the future issues will tell, but, like, I think it's going to be, like, more also about the flashback stuff, in that I think both parts will be, like...
equal.
Yeah, more equal than in Black Hammer, which is mostly about the current timeline stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting like take on like the type of story, and I just love mystery superhero shit. Like I think that's always super cool.
So tell me, do you think like this is basically this creature thing? Archive 5 told him to basically split himself, and so he's basically an atomic bomb, I think.
Yeah, what does he call it? Herb. Yeah, he says use your full power. And he's an armadillo. Just a flying armadillo.
Armadurbo.
He explodes like an atom bomb. Kind of kicking off this this whatever war or whatever with the Martians.
I'm really interested to see how this, because okay, we don't know anything really about Black Hammer, like what happened yet, but we're on the verge of learning about what happened. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if we're going to get some like thematic resemblance between what's going on in the future here and the decision that Archive 5 made and the decision that like Madame Dragon, like in contrast with like what's going on with Madame Dragonfly and them and everything. I'm wondering if these are going to be like really thematically tied.
Yeah. I'm also curious, what is Archive 5 going to be a part of the current timeline of this story? Is he going to be a villainous character now, or is he going to... Yeah, I'm very interested to see where they go with that. Mm-hmm. This took a really cool conceptual left turn in that it's not just it's like the teen superhero team like years after they've broken up and everything's fucked up. Like I think that's a really fun twist on this thing that I wasn't expecting.
Yep. I'm excited. So that's cool. That's going to do it for books at least. Next week we have some highlights which include Hawkman number 2, which is fun. Superman
did we talk about you picking up number 1 at all? We don't have to like have a whole conversation.
We didn't. But I picked it up though, and I liked it.
I no, I think you had picked it up when we talked about it on the show.
I did. I just didn't pick it up that day. You told me to.
That's what it was.
That's really what it was.
That's what it was. Okay.
But so that's coming out next week, and that's Robert Venditti, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then we have Superman number 1, which is going to be more Bendis going on. By the way, just a little bit on Man of Steel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I liked how it wrapped up. I'm a little on the fence about what they're doing with Lois and John here. Like,
I feel like they're removing them from the equation so he doesn't have to write them for a little bit.
Yes, that's exactly what it feels like. I respect at least not killing them. Like, that he's allowing other people to use those characters if they want to, but like, it also feels like kind of a cop-out.
Yes.
You know?
Like I don't want to write this, so...
Like, yeah, he's just kind of deciding, like, I'm not really interested in this new development with Lois and John, and again, I find that a little bit frustrating.
I will say, with that said, in this last issue, I thought he wrote Superman being a dad really, really well and very heartfelt.
Yeah, which is, like, fucking do that. like, clearly you can write that, so why do you have to do this? Like, it feels like Superman is one of those characters that everyone, like, if you end up writing him, like, every comic book writer probably has thought about what they would do with a Superman series. And, like, I'm guessing this is what he's going to do with this is probably something he's had brewing in his head for a long time.
Yeah.
And it feels like, and this, I don't know if this is true or not, this is entirely speculation, but it feels like he's being like, well, I don't want to tell the story with Lois and John, because that's not what I had in my head.
Yeah.
And, you know, and he's just, like, taking them out. You know, they're just off in the universe.
With Jor-El.
Yeah, with Jor-El.
Hopefully they come back and they have, like, he has an idea for some experience that they might have, or how they can be changed, and how that affects Superman or something. I don't know.
I doubt they'll have their own book or anything about that, but it feels weird that, like that could be a book.
Easily.
You know?
That'd be a
and
great
it feels
book,
weird
actually.
that that's just, like, going to be this weird, theoretically, like, gap. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, who knows?
They'll do a 52 thing.
Maybe Bendis will continue to write about them off in space, but I doubt it.
Maybe Bendis will come.
Bendis will come.
Okay. Also, the last highlight for next... Oh, go ahead.
So I was just gonna real quick say, I still liked, like, the writing and tonally the story. Yeah. I just take a little bit of issue.
I don't feel a lot of the impact, is mainly what I'm saying. And the fires thing seems interesting, but I also feel like it's a little bit of a bait and switch as well, because it didn't actually have to do with this story in a way. You know what I mean?
The what bit?
The fires.
Well, yeah. I don't know what's going on with the fires.
Like, we'll see, I guess, and I'm interested to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sounds like... Yeah.
The other highlight we have for next week is I'm finally caught up to Black Science, so it's going to be my first new issue of Black Science. I'm so excited.
That's exciting.
So we'll actually be able to talk about it on the show, so we're definitely going to do that. Like, we're definitely going to talk about it. So I'm excited. So just a small miscellaneous discussion to end off the show. Doug, I didn't know this. Did you know? I guess you must have known. SHAZAM was an acronym.
I did know that.
So Doug, we're gonna do this. We're gonna figure out if you know what the acronym is.
And I purposefully did not look it up before the show started, because this is a challenge to myself, and I'm not going to get it all. Okay. I think I know most of at least. Okay, because it's okay. They're all like gods, or not necessarily gods, but like I don't remember if all these are gods, but they're like, he has the senses and powers of all these like mythical kind of figures.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what all of these specific powers are, because I know it's the Wisdom of Solomon is the first one. S is
good
Solomon.
job. Okay.
I think it's the Strength of Hercules.
Yes.
Is that it? Okay.
Yes.
After that, I don't know that I know the powers, but I know one of the A's is Atlas, right?
Yes.
Or am I completely wrong? Okay.
Atlas
is it the first A?
It's the first A.
Okay.
Do you know what the power is?
What would it be, Atlas? Because it's not strength if it's Strength of Hercules. So
it's not.
Is it like endurance?
That's exactly it. Good job.
Oh boy. That one was just logic. The next one's Zeus. Right?
Okay, yeah.
That one feels like a gimme. Well, who else would it be for Z? But I don't something about, I don't know. It feels like it'd be something about lightning or something, but I don't know how to phrase that as the blank of Zeus. The power?
I believe it's the power.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do you have a list in front of you?
I do. I did. Oh yeah, here I got it. Yes, it's the power of Zeus.
Which seems incredibly vague. That must refer specifically to like the lightning shit, right?
Yes,
like
I think so.
Power?
The power. Yes, like powering a,
Sure.
Yeah.
It does just sound super vague though.
It does, but how else are you going to get Zeus in there?
That second A.
I think this is tough.
It can't be like Achilles, right? Because he's known for his weakness.
Yes, but why would he? Okay.
Is it Achilles?
It is Achilles, but
damn it. Okay,
what is it?
Not damn it. I got it, but but I was saying it wasn't. I should have just gone with it.
You should have.
What was Achilles? He was like a. Was he like a combat person? Right? Like he was a fighter of some kind.
He was a fighter in war.
The God. Leadership? I don't know. Am I close?
You're rushing off into battle. You know you have a weakness, but you don't care. You need to go to battle.
Bravery?
Anyway. It's courage.
Courage. Okay. All right. I didn't know that one, but God, Achilles felt like a shot in the dark. I figured it wasn't. Okay. All right. Well, I
don't think you're going to get this next one. I would not know this.
I'm 5 for 6 right now. I think it's the speed of Mercury.
Oh, really? How would you guess that?
I think that's the one. That's one of the ones I'm pretty sure I knew.
I never even knew Mercury was like a speed thing.
He's Hermes. He's got the wings on his feet, make him go fast. I
didn't know Mercury was the Roman version of Hermes.
Yeah, he's the Roman version of Hermes. He's got the little. He's similar to how Flash has little wings on his feet and stuff.
Well, Jay Garrick was specifically designed to have the little wings on the helmet thing or whatever.
Very Mercury, and he has a helmet like like that big metal flat brimmed helmet is usually what Mercury is drawn as having. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Good job, Doug.
So I got all but one of the powers.
Yeah.
Which was
you got everything but one power. That is actually
Courage of Achilles.
I'm very, very proud of you, Doug.
That was more than I thought I was going to get. I had to kind of tease out some of those. I didn't actually off the top of my head know them.
Yeah.
But I have heard it before, so they're probably stored in my brain somewhere.
Yeah. But, someday we're going to do every single Lantern mantra.
Jesus. I'm not even sure I've heard all of them.
Including the unseen one.
Boy, God, no. I'm not 100% sure I can verbatim say now this is a challenge to myself. In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. I don't know if that was right.
Oh, that's a good rhyme there.
Oh, I added one of my own.
I don't know if that was right. That's good. That's good. Let's see.
That's what he says at the end of the oath every time. He says, "I don't know if that was right."
That's really good. I wonder if that should be like a part of the story. Like every single person who gets introduced to it. Here we go. It's in brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape in sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. I think you did it. Good job, Doug.
Oh, wow. Okay. I did it.
Good job. Okay, well, everybody, folks at home, that's going to about do it for this week. Actually, people don't usually listen to podcasts at home, so they're really not the folks at home.
Yeah, most of my podcast listening is in the car or at work.
In the car at work? Are you a trucker?
Yes, in my car at my desk at work.
Wow.
I would lean out the window and I do.
It's like a drive-in, like a business space drive-in. That's good.
It's a drive-in.
They bring the spreadsheets to your car, and they're like,
everyone's just in a constant circle around the office. That you have to get up to the window to the one computer so you can lean out your window and use the computer at the drive-in window.
I like this. This is a concept that we should develop for a comic.
Mm-hmm. This is a fascinating story idea.
In any case, I did well this episode, I think. That's going to about do it for this week. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. We're pretty new still. We really are. So the absolute biggest thing that you can do for us is, if you like the show, is give us a review or star rating on the iTunes. And if you enjoyed what you heard, let someone know about us. Someone. Anyone. You could even...
I don't care who.
Just talk to someone at your comic book store or something. It's be like, hey, these guys are idiots. Come laugh at them. But you can do
it up exactly like that with no prompting beforehand. Just turn to someone you don't know and say, hey, these guys are idiots. Laugh at them.
You can do that in person or on social media, though. And it's great.
Yes.
We release episodes on Sundays. I mean, a lot of
days?
Shut up. On Sundays. A lot of you know that already, but, for the other people. But you can also subscribe and not have to check back next week. You can just have it in the drip feed. And never have to think about it.
Yeah. You can do that on pretty much any podcast app. You can think about it. In the meantime, before the next episode, find us on Twitter and Facebook under the handle @comicscovered. You can find web archives of all of our episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN. And if anyone is mystified by that phrase because we've never spelled it out, if you are not in on the podcast scene, that is a podcast host. So that's who hosts our podcast. Libsyn.
It stands for Liberated Syndication.
And we've also got archives of our shows on our YouTube channel or Facebook. They are technically videos. We're not lying. They technically. There's no actual video content though. Or we've started posting. We've started? Boy, I did just say they're on Facebook. We really need to change our formats.
Hey man, you made this.
There's some very outdated stuff.
I'll change it this week. Whatever.
So check those out. And if you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message. Facebook or Twitter, or send us an email, comicscover@gmail.com. And maybe we'll feature you on a future episode or just send you an answer. Thanks again for listening. I'm Doug.
I can be a pain in the ass sometimes, but I'm trying to work on it. And this has been Comics Covered.
That's very honest of you.
Aw, cheerio.
Bye.